Hello, and welcome to Pagelets, brought to you by The Authorised. At The Authorised, we aim to bring some insight into new authors that are coming into the market via new or debut works. Our pilot episode found us speaking with Matthew Pearce about his first book, Adam, Fear, a supernatural thriller set in modern-day New York. It was great to find out more about why Matthew writes, what drives him to keep going, and how he brought together the ideas that went into Fear, and even the ones that might show up in future instalments. For Pagelets, we asked Matthew to pick his favourite passage from Fear, no more than a page or two, that he feels will give an insight into the dark and brooding world of mystery and suspense that he has created. Without further ado, here is that short reading from pages 62 to 63.
As she turned yet another corner in the confounding warren of wood and steel, she noticed that Kyle was no longer running with them. "Kyle!" she called, wondering where the hell he was. She slowed and looked behind herself to check that he hadn't fallen behind. Confirming that this wasn't the case, she looked back round only to find herself alone, the other officers lost from sight. "What?" she questioned as she stopped at the end of an aisle. It didn't make sense. How could she have lost them all? They had all been running together. She stood for a moment, looking up and down the darkened rows of box-laden racking. A strange sensation washed over her. She could swear that the lights were dimming further, the darkness closing in on her. A silence fell upon the warehouse as the distant sound of footsteps faded away. She would have sworn she had lost her hearing, if not for the sound of her own rapid breathing, piercing the void. "Kyle!" Krista shouted again, louder and more desperate this time. "Solomon!" She received no replies. As she stood, stumped, unsure of which direction she should be heading in, she heard the whistling again. It was the same tune as before, the one she had recognized. It emanated through the darkness. It was behind, no, in front of her. The sound moved quicker than Krista's legs could respond. She power-walked, lost in the black. Now she looked down the path to her right, and her heart sunk with a devastating weight. An unfamiliar, darkened figure stood partway down the aisle, a chilling phantasm. The figure's eyes glowed a wicked red, two fiery doorways to damnation, taking Krista's breath away. She quickly fumbled for her flashlight, her hands trembling madly. She managed to click it on, shining the ray of light down the aisle to see who it was, but the figure had vanished from sight.
Adam, Fear, by Matthew Pearce, is available as an ebook or in paperback from all good book retailers. Pagelets is an X7 production on behalf of The Authorised.